Hi everyone, it's Rob and Trev out the back at SurfSide Motorcycle Garage. We thought we'd have a bit of a yarn today about one of the more interesting classic bikes we've been working on at the moment. Trev, I've always said I think the simplest thing in the world is a single-cylinder four-stroke engine, but then we get this rotary in and I go, what could be simpler than a rotary motorcycle, particularly this gorgeous Suzuki RE5?
Absolutely, isn't it beautiful? Yeah, well, technically, yes, you're quite right, Rob. Rotaries should be the simplest things known to man. There's only one reciprocating part, technically. And Suzuki thought they were going to revolutionise the motorcycling world with the RE5 single rotor Wankel design engine, but unfortunately they cocked it right up. They spent way too much money and it almost sent the company to the wall back in the day. So this is the first model of them. This is a 75 model, and distinctive with the round clock, the round tail light, the round bulb indicators, all mimicking things that go round in a circle. This one here has come from a museum in America and was imported by a customer of ours who has quite a stable of bikes. It wasn't running. I had to, back in the day, I actually pulled these out of the crate and assembled them and rode them up and got warrant of fitnesses, etc. for them. And I had to kind of do a bit of homework to refresh my memory on how to repair them and get this thing running. Well, that brought back all kinds of memories of how much technical shit is actually involved in one of these things.
So you're telling me this thing isn't dirt box simple?
Far from it. Far from it. Yeah. For an example, the throttle has a push-pull cable, which you would think is pretty simple, you know, open and close the throttle, but it opens another 6 cables, which are attached to an oil pump, a close-off valve for the inlet port. It has all sorts of technical stuff that's just mind-blowing. For example, it's a single cylinder with one spark plug, but it has 2 sets of points. Not only does it have 2 sets of points, but it's also connected to a CDI unit. Now, that in itself is pretty odd.
It seems like we're doubling up here for some reason.
It is, it is. The later model went to a single set of points, but this one has 2. Very confusing and very technical to set up. It also has a side draft carburetor, twin choke side draft carburetor with twin accelerator pumps that have to be timed correctly. I had to make up a special tool to actually be able to time it. So there's a little timing disc goes on the side of the carburetor down here to actually time it. So
you did seem to be spending a lot of time on the bench on this thing, I must admit. Yeah.
I spent many hours on this bike, but it's actually come out really nice and it's just a beautiful example.
And, are they as smooth as they say?
If you come closer, I can show you one little weirdo feature. The instrument panel, you might think it's from the space shuttle, but it's a flip-up instrument panel. Let's start it up for the pundits out there.
Yep.
Very interesting exhaust note.
Sounds like a 13B or something.
It does. Well, it's the same thing. That's why it sounds like that. And you'll note that these things get extremely hot. So what Suzuki have done is they've ram air cooled the exhaust system to keep it cool. And cool is the word. This is a very cool piece of kit.
It is. No, and you just see so few of these things, and as you say, getting it tuned correctly, given the complexity of everything with the carb setup and the ignition, it's a bit of a nightmare. So, yeah.
It was a nice challenge.
All right, folks, yeah, so that's an interesting classic that we've got in the shop. A little bit more complex than you would think on the surface, but we got there in the end. So well done, mate.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right, guys, see you next time.